EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Hello again and welcome. Rich Loder alongside my friend and colleague Frank Navola. We are back in the state of Pennsylvania getting set to kick off the round here at one of the great golf courses in the world, Oakmont Country Club. Frank, you're very familiar with it because you were right in the mix down the stretch of the 1994 U.S. Open right here at Oakmont.
And Rich, it's so good just to be back here. You know, there's so much history in Oakmont. It's been a host to so many prestigious tournaments in our sport, such as the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, the Women's U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. It's just one of the true gems on the golf landscape. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up. Get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. And getting ready for the putt. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Just a couple of feet. No damage done, made the par. U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, you've played in so many of them, are supposed to be demanding and tough. This is what a U.S. Open's all about. A par 3 and nearly 300 yards. That's the 8th at Oakmont.
It's not just the length, too, but this is a typical Oakmont green, which means it's not easy. There is an option, though, if you can't reach this green, or at least fly it on, you might get a lucky bounce to kick forward. You'll see a lot of people chipping from around the front edge of this green, and there's no shame in that.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
He'll need to be strong with this. Pretty good shot right there. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. And now to the 9th, and in case a player has forgotten somehow that he's at a U.S. Open, the 9th will remind him very quickly that this is the national championship. This is demanding. I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This is a good-looking shot. Strong approach shot here at the 9th, and a good opportunity to finish this side with a birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Good roll, solid. That's a par. Heading out to the action now. We pick up with our featured golfer at hole number 10. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Just blasted that tee ball, Frank. Second shot. Good look at the green. What a display of shot-making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just a little tap in here. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, you can feel the momentum shifting.
You can. It might look tight at the top at the moment, but you definitely get the impression we're going to see a change in the lead very soon.
Beautiful birdie right there. Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. This one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Safely aboard. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Watches that one go in as well to get to -3 for the championship. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways, this golf course always requires the utmost precision.
Good-looking shot right here. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Frank, this is a point in the round where you really need to summon your best stuff. Par 3 of 231 yards. You know the pressure's building. We're at the 16th hole, and you have a long iron in hand. you can't flinch. You can't take it halfway back and go. This has to be the complete swing, and you have to really have the nerve on this shot.
Yeah, this shot has to be hitting right out of the button, that's for sure. One thing to consider, though, in the back of your mind, it's always better putting back uphill. Well, uphill is actually from the back of the screen. So you actually can be a little braver on 16 than what you might think standing on that tee, because a little long is better than a little short.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Not a problem from there. Right in the middle. Coming down to the wire here at the U.S. Open Championship at fabled Oakmont, and the tension starting to build. And Frank, this is decision time at this very short 313-yard par 4.
Yeah, normally in a U.S. Open, Rich, you'd think the prudent play would be lay it up, but I kind of like driver here today. I think the worst you're going to do is just miss the green or hit it one of those pop bunkers. You perhaps could drive it on the green, be putting for eagle, but even out of one of those bunkers, you got to think you're even money to get it up and down. I like driver here. This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Birdie try up next. Clean this up with a tap. A great roll right there. Just a pure stroke right in the heart. This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship. He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away.
Safely on deck.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie.
When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt.
And getting ready for the putt. Wow, I thought he made that. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in you, Rich.
Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Yeah, can't afford another, though. Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. It is one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States. Oakmont Country Club outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, who was a part of that dramatic U.S. Open in 1994 at Oakmont, ultimately won by Ernie Els. Frank, when you think of Oakmont, what comes to mind?
The difficulty of the golf course, Rich. I know a lot's changed over the last 20 or so years. A lot of the trees have been removed. But really, that wasn't the story of Oakmont. It's the slick greens, how firm and fast they can be. The members there, for example, they marvel at the fact that people think they're fast. They say, we putt on these greens every single day, and they're certainly no slower. But it's the bunkering as well. There's 210 bunkers here. They're all in play. And it just has that history. When you step on Oakmont, you just know you are walking on not one of the great courses in North America, but one of the great courses in golf.
Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Good solid par right there. .14, pretty short par 4 at 358 yards. Frank?
Get the ball in play here, and certainly your best opportunity for birdie on the second 9 so far.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. And I guess you're allowed that in this game.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Just a couple of feet. Has it. Good putt right there. Well, this is a good U.S. Open par 4 at 499 yards. The 15th is one of the better holes in the course, Frank.
It is. The shape of the tee shot you think would suit a cut, but because the fairway slopes quite severely to the right, really it needs a draw just to work its way against that slope and somehow keep it on the straight and narrow.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Well, the drama's starting to build here. 15th hole, the approach shot, Frank. This is a time to be buttoned up and dialed in.
That's for sure. And this second shot would be so much easier if they had just removed one little bunker. And that's that one short left, because that's where you would like to land that second shot. Because that bunker's there, you've just got to somehow avoid it by a yard or two, whether it's over it or to the right of it.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's formality now.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. On to 16 now at 231-yard par 3. This could be a good one. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Trying to make yet another birdie.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Now on to the 17th hole, and Frank, in so many ways, this determined the outcome of the 2007 U.S. Open. Jim Furyk had his issues here. It's just 313 yards, but it can really play with a player's mind.
It's such an unusual par 4 for a U.S. Open, plus also where it comes in the round, because the options, and there's only really two, is like a 4 or 5 iron. You sneak it up the right side, or you take a driver directly at the green. You would think there's something in between, but really there isn't. And that's why, to your point, it stopped Jim Furyk, it stopped Tiger Woods, it allowed Cabrera to win. It also helped Ernie Els, who went with the driver option there back in 1994. So 17, it's short, it's tempting, it is at a U.S. Open, but it is still demanding.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Can't hide the flag stick from that man. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Here we are at the 18th at Oakmont. Clubhouse straight ahead. Frank, I distinctly remember the 2007 U.S. Open Championship of the final round, and Angel Cabrera, the big Argentinian, with the pressure bearing down, stepped up and absolutely piped a tee shot right down the throat. And I know to this day he thinks it's one of the great shots he's ever hit.
Yeah, I get the odds. Golf ball is 1.68 inches in diameter. Fairway's 30 yards wide. Ball should fit easily, right? But when you look at it off the back of this tee with bunkers left and right, it does not look like it's that easy, that's for sure.
Frank, when I think about a U.S. Open, I think of 5-footers for bogey being as important as a 5-footer for birdie at most other tournaments.
Yeah, and I think that's why when you look at the list of great U.S. Open champions, the names of Ben Hogan's come out, tough character from Fort Worth. Jack Nicklaus, the greatest achiever in the game. Tiger Woods at his best. U.S. Opens, to win multiple U.S. Opens, it just takes a very, very rare character.
Beautifully done. Nice birdie. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the United States Open Championship. It is known as one of the toughest golf courses in the world. And today we're here in western Pennsylvania at Oakmont Country Club. Originally opened in 1903 and designed by Henry Phones, it features over 200 bunkers and slick, undulating greens. It asks a lot of a player in every aspect of the game. It is a fitting venue for the U.S. Open Championship, the final round. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
This is a good-looking shot. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Moving on to the 11th hole here at Oakmont. Par 4, 379 yards. So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Now at the par 5 12, 667 yards. Frank, you've played golf around the world at the very highest level. I've heard you say you think this is one of the hardest par 5s on the planet. Why?
The slope of the fairway, you don't get a flat lie anywhere along that, and the green slopes away from you. So really there's no easy out. This is the only par 5 I've ever seen where the best players in the world would take a 5.
Wow, smoked that tee shot.
Second shot.
Good-looking shot right here. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Just a little tap in here. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. All right, Frank, at the par 3 13th at 183 yards, what do you see here?
Well, there's a lot of things to consider, but the general slope of this green really makes you either hit to a specific section on the green or just try and keep the ball below the hole. It's always easy to putt uphill on fast greens.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So that was probably a makeable putt, but everything had to be right. The speed and the read didn't quite have it dialed in on line there. Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up one. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable. That's fine.
This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
That is classy.
A chance of going in.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Count it. That's a birdie. Here at the 15th, a long par 4 at 499 yards. Frank, what are you looking to do off the tee?
Tee shot here is very similar to the one back at the par 5, where the fairway slopes left to right, and then the second shot's going to be uphill to a green that's actually built in the opposite direction. This is a tough par 4.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway,
especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, deep into a final round at a U.S. Open at Oakmont. This approach shot at 15, this is where you really need to be focused.
You do. The front third of the green slopes back towards the front right of the green. Then everything in the middle starts to kick towards the right and then the back. So it's a case, like so many other greens here, of using the slopes in your favor. So pick the right club, try and adjust, and, well, in the back of your mind, allow for the amount of roll that the ball's going to take when it hits the green. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Good putt. Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. The par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
This would be nice. A birdie on the card. See if he can make it. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Coming down to the wire here at the U.S. Open Championship at fabled Oakmont, and the tension starting to build. And Frank, this is decision time at this very short 313-yard par 4.
And normally in a U.S. Open, Rich, you'd think the prudent play would be lay it up, but I kind of like driver here today. I think the worst you're going to do is just miss the green or hit it in one of those pop bunkers. You perhaps could drive it on the green, be putting for eagle, but even out of one of those bunkers, you got to think you're even money to get it up and down. I like driver here.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
And it makes the green in regulation. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
We knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect, right down the middle of the fairway. Frank, Johnny Miller's final round 63 in the 1973 U.S. Open here at Oakmont is one of the greatest of all time. Now, granted, the golf course was a little soft because of some rains, but still 63, final round of a U.S. Open. You need to be on your game, and Miller certainly was.
You can imagine players shooting 63 at various golf courses, even if it were wet or soft. But at Oakmont, we thought it was the unthinkable. And one of the reasons why it was such a great round, it wasn't just the score. You've seen the golf course. To hit every single green in regulation, all 18, to be putting for birdie 18 times in a row at Oakmont, it deserves a worthy score. So 63, it's in the history books for more than one reason. Not just the score, but the style and the manner in which it was done.
There you have it. Well done. Great putt. And there it is, a U.S. Open victory. Here we are at the 18th at Oakmont. Clubhouse straight ahead. Frank, I distinctly remember the 2007 U.S. Open Championship of the final round, and Angel Cabrera, the big Argentinian, with the pressure bearing down, stepped up and absolutely piped a tee shot right down the throat. And I know to this day he thinks it's one of the great shots he's ever hit.
Yeah, I get the odds. Golf ball is 1.68 inches in diameter. Fairway's 30 yards wide. Ball should fit easily, right? But when you look at it off the back of this tee with bunkers left and right, it does not look like it's that easy, that's for sure.
サンクス、バイバイ。